Well, it was the explosion that rocked central Kentucky, killing a grandmother, hurting 6 others, and forcing a neighborhood to evacuate from their homes. Now, 3 years later, we know the cause behind the Lincoln County pipeline explosion. Video seen right here shows the explosion in the minutes after. Massive flames caught on camera, engulfing the home, damaging others. During this time, people described the pure chaos of hearing an explosion in the middle of the night and then running for their lives. We talked to survivors the very next day.
When I felt all that heat on me when I tried to get in the car, you know, I thought, oh, it's done got me. It's gonna blow my car up, me up sitting in it.
It was an urgency of don't hesitate, don't look back, don't even stop for a second, just keep going.
58-year-old Lisa Derringer died in the explosion. Her family told us she was born in Indianapolis, drove a semi-truck for 35 years, most recently driving for Jim Beam Distillery. More than anything, they said she loved to dance and she loved her family. From Sky 11, we saw the wreckage left behind. A red circle highlighted where the pipeline exploded. Investigators evacuated 75 people while they worked to learn what went wrong. 5 houses were destroyed by the fire, 14 more were damaged. A nearby railroad track was also damaged and more than 30 acres of land burned. Well, now, 3 years later, the National Transportation Safety Board has released its findings in a 65-page report. The investigation took 3 years to complete and details the 4 major mistakes leading up to the explosion. Experts with the NTSB say these 3 failures led to the explosion. First, a manufacturing defect known as a hard spot. The report says Inbridges, the company that owns that pipeline, underestimated the risk posed by hard spots. Also, investigators found coating deterioration on the pipeline. And finally, the investigation says Inbridges failed to properly investigate the impact of a 2014 pipeline project that ultimately contributed to the failure. The report also found it took Inbridges employees 56 minutes to close the valves and stop the flow of gas after the explosion. The report said Inbridges missed an opportunity to address a lack of knowledge after an incident earlier that year when employees were slow to act. It went on to say addressing that knowledge gap with employees may have reduced the delay to shut off the gas right after the explosion. And this morning, I reached out to Inbridges to find out what changes they've made since the explosion. A spokesperson who we've been communicating with since 2019 didn't answer our questions, but he did send us a statement. It reads in part, "For more than 3 years since the incident occurred, we have worked diligently to understand the contributing factors to this incident and have made tremendous strides to change our procedures, processes, and conducted extensive inspections to make an effort to make our pipes safer than ever before."